Thank you for joining us. We thought as it's the end of the season, we'd kind of do a review of the senior academy. So we'll start with the EDS. How would you evaluate their performances over the course of the season?
I think for our first season in the with the elite development squad, it's been lots of positives. It was something that we had to add to our academy program, and I think it allowed us not only to keep our best scholars that were with us, obviously for year 1 and year 2, but also gave us the opportunity to recruit players externally from Football League, Premier League clubs, to come in with the sole aim of trying to progress them as much as we can and hopefully get a few of them into the first team environment. I feel on the whole, if we're looking at that as our measure of success, then we've been really successful. A number of the players have had the opportunity throughout the season to be a part of first team training, be a part of National League Cup, Surrey Senior Cup. We've had boys playing, been on the bench within the National League as well. And of course, Tom, who's managed to earn himself a professional contract off the back of not just the good work he's done here, but the good work he did on his senior loan with Westfield. So, look, they're things that we probably wouldn't have been able to do in the past. So the fact that we have the elite development squad has given us the opportunity to do that. On the pitch, the team have done generally really well. We've had some really, really good days with some excellent performances, and Carl leading that squad has done some, been excellent for them as much as they've done well themselves. Probably a little bit frustrated when we look back on certain moments in the season, particularly the cup run, which we felt that we had an opportunity to go far in. We finished the league season in the top 5, which again, looking back on that is really positive, but probably feel maybe a little bit frustrated that we didn't quite get a little bit higher up. There's certain games where we generally done well against the teams up and around us, and there's probably moments where we didn't get results that we should have got that were probably more not gimme wins, but ones that we probably felt that we should win, and that probably cost us top 3 finish in the end. So, but look, like I said, the measure of success for us is on the development of the players. We feel like that's happened. We feel like opportunities have been given, and ultimately that's what we can do. We can give the opportunities, and it's down to the players to take them. The group as a whole are really good. They're good lads. They've been really enjoyable to work with throughout the season. Naturally, we've had our ups and downs and performances in things away from the pitch as well, but on a whole, it's been really positive and bodes well going forward. We've got obviously an intake of players coming in, and we've learned a lot this year as a staffing group as to how we manage the situations, how we look at our recruitment side. So we're really excited for what that might bring next year.
And we'll have some of the under-18s moving up into that elite development squad. If we start with the Suburban League, a second place finish, just how impressive is that in an adult league?
Yeah, for sure. I think that'll make the basis of our recruitment for the EDS, is how well that second year group have done. And in an ideal world, we would want to keep all of them. That's not necessarily going to be the case. Lots of ambitious players, whether that's football wise or academically as well, which obviously is the nature of what we do here. So, but yeah, I mean, for them to get the highest league finish that we've ever had in the Suburban League as a young, 17-year-old boys for the majority of the season, to show level of consistency, competition, like you said, most weeks playing against a lot older players. Again, really grown over the season. Again, a lot of the hard work from Carl, that did, day in, day out, training, building that team and building a real good group. And, that they've shown that they can do it against senior players. They're players that we want to now challenge even further in the elite development squad. We want to get them out into senior environments and give them the chance to really show that potentially they could come in and maybe be a part of the first team squad as the season goes on. And ultimately, that's what we want to achieve by progressing those boys.
And there's an under-18s group in the Alliance as well. That was a fourth place finish. How would you sum up their campaign?
Yeah, they again done really well. I think it's a league that we use to provide extra minutes for the players. We've used a lot of first years in there as well, which obviously is great for progression and challenging the boys as much as we can. It is a good league. We play against a lot of senior older players in there, particularly when we put in a lot of first years. But again, it provides us with a platform for boys to show that they're ready to maybe step up into the Suburban League. And ultimately, we've been really competitive throughout the season, which is positive.
And for the 18s as well, there was a cup victory in there. Just how much did they deserve that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, look, I think we saw the benefits of them playing senior football throughout the season. And when they come back into playing under 18s games, they looked quicker, sharper, dealing with the physical, being the more dominant team. And we would expect that from our young players because we know we have some really good quality players here. But that was really pleasing because we were able to see the difference that's made for them. And yeah, we obviously got ourselves into a cup final, and it was a brilliant game of football, one that we felt like we'd done really well in large spells of, and then had to really suffer and hang on at the end. But it probably made it all a little bit more sweeter. But that's what they deserve. As I said, I cannot speak highly enough of the second year group of players. Not just their day to day, how they work on the training pitch, but actually what they've been able to achieve this year, the information they take on board, being able to go and deliver that in a game week in, week out. I keep talking about Carl, but not often does Carl get it wrong in terms of our tactical preparation, and it's up to the boys then to go and deliver that. I'll go back to our last two suburban home fixtures here, and a 5-1 and a 9-0, convincing wins where we played some excellent football. And again, that's all from the hard work of both the staff and the players.
And if we look at the 17s as well, they were third in the Isthmian League. Would you say that's a fair result?
Yeah, look, I think for all of the first years, the most important thing is it's first year getting their feet under the table, starting to understand the demands that are put on them here, what we expect from them day in, day out, the style of football we want to play, them being comfortable with that, getting the opportunity to play as many games as they possibly can, putting themselves in situations as well where they will be selected or the opportunity to progress. Both under 18s leagues or first year leagues, you say, in the Isthmian and the Ally provide very different challenges, and that's the purpose of doing it. And yeah, look, we're really pleased with that. Like I said, I'd love to say that we're here and we want to win every game of football. We of course we do, but that isn't going to be the case. And actually, the development of the player is so much more important. Whether that means that we forfeit winning a league because actually we're trying to progress the players and push players on higher, or we're giving opportunities to players that maybe haven't had as much chance through certain parts of the season. And that's where we've sort of really had a little bit of a change where cup competitions are ones that we want to win, leagues are for the development. And I think that's probably something that we look at with the first year group that we had. And, there's been lots of positives that bode well for them moving into their second year, which again, I would say provides a real different challenge for them going into the Suburban League playing against more senior players.
And just finally, it's obviously been a long season across all the leagues here. What's next for the summer?
It doesn't stop. A lot of people think, the season's done and a nice little break, but lots of recruitment ongoing, of course. We're looking at our new intake of first year players, which we're really excited about. We've got the football and education program, which is new this year, which will hopefully provide the opportunity for another cohort of players to come in and be an academy player here at Woking. And also continue the elite development squad, retention of players, which obviously we're still working on with some of our second years and obviously external recruitment as well. So yeah, all busy, but we're looking forward to maybe a small rest ahead of our restart in July.
Well, enjoy the rest. Thank you very much for your time today and have a